Okay, I wonder who here has heard of Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law. It's a law of, I guess, productivity. And if you know something about it, you can add a comment below. But obviously, this 1 minute video I'm about to show you summarizes it. And I think it's a very counterintuitive uh, principle of time management. And it's very important to keep reminding ourselves of that occasionally. So here we go. Let me show you this video.
This is Cyril Parkinson, a British historian and author, and in 1955 he was assigned to review the efficiency of the British civil service. Now, as Cyril dug into the task at hand, he noticed something odd. The number of government employees had doubled over the previous 25 years, despite the fact that there was no corresponding increase in the amount of work that needed to be done. Cyril was curious about this, so he decided to investigate further, and what he discovered was fascinating.
Well, first of all, I think that's fascinating already. Right? We're not surprised maybe about government, but I think this is true of like bigger companies too. I heard this is increasingly true about Google. It's like a lot of jobs there. Like, what are you actually doing here? like as long as there's jobs and money being thrown at it, people like make up work, and that's not really moving the company forward, moving government forward, etc. I think it's quite interesting.
He found that the growth in the number of civil servants was due to a phenomenon he called work expansion. Essentially, the more people there were in a department, the more work was created to justify their employment. His observation led him to formulate Parkinson's law. Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion.
That's Parkinson's law. Work expands as to fill the time allotted for its completion. However much time you give yourself to finish something, it will tend to get done in that long or short amount of time.
In other words, the more time you give yourself to complete a task, the longer it's going to take you to do it. Parkinson's law has since been applied to many different areas of life, including business and education and personal productivity. It highlights the importance of setting clear deadlines and being efficient with your time. So the next time you find yourself staring at a never-ending to-do list, remember Parkinson's law and set yourself a deadline.
Okay. Thoughts about this? Do you see this dynamic in your own life, in your own work? I know I do. And I find that in recent years, I've started to, well, I mean, you've heard me talk about work lightly. I've been talking about this for a couple of years. And I think work lightly for me has more and more involved. All right, this is fine. It's good enough. I mean, maybe I've actually come to yeah, I've actually I think I'm in a good place with Parkinson's law, because sometimes like I used to carve out 6 hours to prepare for each 1 hour course module. And then I just get tired of it. I'm like, 3 hours in, it's fine. And sometimes I'm like 2 hours in, I'm like, yeah, that's good enough. The rest of the 4 hours, I'll do something else with my time. I didn't used to do that though, right? Like I used to be such a perfectionist. And I think probably some of you watching this might be in that mode where it's like 6 hours is not even enough to prepare for a 1 hour lecture or something like that. It's like you really go with all the time. And of course, a lot of the time you spend in the 6 hours, let's say, is, biting your nails or surfing social media or checking email or just the anxiety activity of postponing the work that really should have taken 2 hours or 3 hours rather than the 6 hours, right? And it's like, oh shoot, I've got, and so um I applied this to I'm going to apply this to the 111 formula. I think most of you watching this know what the 111 formula is. If you don't, um there are places I'm not sure where I'm going to upload this. I might upload this in Joyful Productivity course. So I talk about the 111 formula in depth in my biz plan course. If you don't have that, I obviously highly recommend it. But essentially, the 111 formula is a set of tasks that um, I encourage you to do consistently, well, to fill the 111. And by doing so, it is uh, my best, it's my best prescription for guaranteed business success. If there was such a thing, there is no such thing as guaranteed business success, but that's the closest thing I could get to it. That's the closest thing I can give you. to guaranteed business success if you just follow the 111 formula. Now, the problem with the 111 formula, which includes things like 40 pieces of stage one content, 20 market discovery calls, it all adds up to 111. The problem with 111 is that it could take you 3 years to finish it, or it could take you 1 year to finish it, or it could take you 6 months to finish it. You see where I'm getting at as applied to Parkinson's law. If you find yourself saying, well, how long has it been? And have I finished the 111 formula? Now, I'm not saying you have to follow the 111 formula, but you need something like that in order to be clear about your sort of your business pathway. Because otherwise, what the heck are you doing? You can't expect to put up a website and have clients. Who told you that? The person selling you the website creation service told you you set up a website, you have clients. You can't expect to post a few things on social media and have clients. Who told you that? The person selling you on how to post on social media, right? No, these are all combined factors that build credibility and trust and clarity within yourself to say, oh, that's actually what people want. We get clients not by putting stuff out there. We get clients by putting stuff out there and then observing which of the stuff we put out there is really helping people, really valuable for people. Quality content, quality offerings is not quality in your eyes. And the 12 hours you spent designing the sales page, that's not quality. Quality could have been 20 minutes writing an email and the person on the other side saying, that's exactly what I need. Oh, I didn't know that. So therefore, you have to spend 20 minutes, you have to write 100 of those emails or pieces of content or whatever. You see what I mean? So Parkinson's law, work will fill the time you allot for work. And again, the question is, how much time are you allowing yourself to do the 111 formula? Or let's get more precise with this week. How much time are you allowing for yourself to write your blog post this week, to make your video this week, to announce your offer this month? How much time are you allowing for it? Because if you don't allow time, right? If you just say, well, I just get to work, I get to work around 12 noon, and then I work until I'm tired, and then I go to bed, or I work until my kids come home, or I work until it's time to make dinner, and then no, then you will always take 10 times as much time as needed. And then for each thing you put out there, you don't even know if it's going to work. It's a series of experiments where you're always having to put stuff out there, observe what people react to it, and then learn from that and go, okay, next time I put something out there, I'm going to adjust it more in this direction because people seem to not respond to that at all. But when I put these 4 other things out there, I put 5 things out there and people responded to 2 of them and not to other 3 of them. What is it about those 2 that I can learn from, that I can adjust myself to do more in that direction and adjust myself away from doing these? You have to do so many experiments in order to understand your calling in life. What is it that God wants you to do? The universe, goddess, source. What does the market, which is what God, goddess, source, universe, speaks to your soul through your business soul, through the market? The market is a mechanism of the intermediary. It's sort of like the filter of the spirit is speaking to your business soul through the market. You got to listen to the market and go, oh, they didn't like that post. That's interesting. I spent 12 hours on it. Hopefully not. Hopefully, oh, I spent half an hour writing that post. They didn't like it. No big deal, because I have another couple of half hours this week to write different posts or to record different things to put out there. Parkinson's law, how much time are you allowing yourself? So, for example, those of you, doesn't apply to me, but those of you who caretake for other people, you have elderly people in your life you caretake for, you have neighbors you caretake for, you have kids, you have a partner who is sick, whatever, caretake for yourself, you have a chronic illness. It obviously seems like a handicap to have to, but then on the other hand, with Parkinson's law, it might actually be a forced constraint that's helpful for you to say, listen, George, I can't plan a calendar to say Tuesday at 10 a.m. because my partner might need me. My kids might need me Tuesday at 10 a.m. I can't plan that kind of calendar. I said, fine, good. Then you say, okay, I'm doing the 111 formula and I'm going to produce 3 pieces of content this week. And I'm just going to do it in any 15-minute chunk I have. I'm not going to say Tuesday at 10 a.m. I'm just going to 3 pieces of content this week. And my kids don't need me right now. I better get to it. I have 15 minutes. Okay, my partner doesn't need me right now. I better get to it. I might have half an hour. I'm going to create that piece of content in 15 minutes, or at least get a really good start, right? Really good start. Because I don't know when I'll have the 15 minutes again. My kids are going to come home. My elderly parents are going to need me in the next, in maybe sometime this afternoon, probably. I don't know how much time I have. Maybe they'll need me later this morning. I've got 15 minutes. Go. Parkinson's law. So I hope this is helpful. I really look forward to seeing your comments below. How does this sit with you, first of all? How will you apply this? Because you are a genius. You just need a timer. I say this again and again in so many of my courses. And I mean, if you take part in my live courses, when I'm good about it, I will use a timer to get you to do stuff. And then you always surprise yourself. What? I did that in 3 minutes? 3 minutes? I did that? I usually can't even do that in 3 hours. What happened? A timer. Parkinson's law. You see, it's just the human brain is so mushy, and our spirit is so mushy. It's like, we're all hippies until we have a timer. And then we suddenly get stuff done. We're like, what was that? It's your human mind, it's your human spirit using a prism to channel. It's like using a crystal to, vast diffuse light channeled into this powerful laser. That's you. That's called a timer. That's called Parkinson's law. So how will you apply this? I look forward to seeing your comments below. All right, I just want to bring something up from the private chat that I appreciate. Someone said, hey, I've tried deadlines. I don't seem to follow them unless I have the deadline that's set by somebody else. Well, exactly. I mean, this is because we are tribal beings. We are inherently social animals. I mean, that's more important. Well, that's life or death is how we evolved. If we don't have the acceptance of the tribe, we died in the wilderness. And so we have been hardwired with make sure other people are okay with us. And so if other people give us a deadline, we want to make sure we do it, because rather than setting our own deadline. It doesn't really matter because we're out in the wilderness, we're going to die anyway. Isolated. Doesn't matter what kind of deadlines we set for ourselves. We haven't been hardwired that way. Hardwired. It's almost impossible to overcome that hardwiring. You might as well not try. You might as well go with the hardwiring to support yourself, right? Why fight against it? And so absolutely, this is why all my deadlines are public deadlines. All my deadlines, well, not all my, I mean, all of my private deadlines are connected public deadlines. There's no such thing as a private deadline. It doesn't really work. I mean, except for those who have been have a superhuman ability to overcome the hard wiring of not being a social animal and just following your own deadline, or having somehow tricking the mind to have social animal in here. You follow the voices in your head, you take them that seriously, right? So basically all my deadlines are public deadlines, all the major ones. So when I launch courses, I'm like, every Wednesday I'm selling something. Now, funny thing is, the last couple of Wednesdays I haven't sold something because I'm giving myself a more spacious calendar this year. It's funny that I happen to be this way, but finances, money is the ultimate deadline, right? I gotta make money, right? Gotta make money. It's physical survival. It's even more important than social survival. So, but the problem with being an entrepreneur, being a solopreneur, particularly solo, die in the wilderness, preneur, is that there is no one giving you the deadline for, well, how do I make money? Well, you make money by selling other people's stuff. Other people have to like your stuff to buy it. Okay, well then how do you get other people to like your stuff? You got to try 1,000 things to see which of the 5 of the 1,000 things they like. Oh, no one ever told me this. Well, I'm telling you this now. You can't expect to sell one thing and have thing make you money. You got to sell 10 things and have one thing make you money. I sold 10 things, 9 were failures. One of them made me money. It's got to be like that. Okay. Oh, George, I didn't know that. Yes, I'm telling you now. Did you know that? No, I didn't know that. No. Okay. Okay. I got to sell 10 things to have one. Yes. Okay. I mean, hopefully five of those 10 things will make you money, but I give myself very low expectation. I'll just sell 10 things. Hopefully one of them will make my year. Okay. This is how venture capital works too. The smartest business people in the world, venture capitalists, they invest millions in lots of companies. Most of them fail. But one of those 100 companies or three of those 100 companies become the, Airbnb, the Uber, the Facebook, the ones that make them billions of dollars. The rest, they wasted hundreds of millions of dollars. The smartest business people in the world, right? So therefore, if it's a bunch of experiments out there, then you go, oh my God, that means I have a timeline for my experiment. I'm going to run out of money. I'm going to run out of rent money if I don't do my 10 experiments, um, this quarter, at least this year. That's just why I launch 10 to 15 things a year. Have you noticed that? I'm launching something at least once a month. Why do I do that? Because I'm afraid none of it's going to work. Paranoia is good for business. It's bad for everything else in life, but it's excellent for business. I'm paranoid. I'm like, I have no idea if this thing is going to work. So I better launch it ASAP with as little time as possible because I have no idea. So Parkinson's law is in effect here. So public deadlines. Um, so therefore, I'm like, every month I have to launch at least one thing. When is it going to happen this month? I have to put it in, and every Wednesday is an opportunity to mention the launch, pre-launch something, or to take a poll of my upcoming course titles or my upcoming program, ask them what they want. Wednesday. Why Wednesday? It doesn't matter. It just happened to work out at some point, sometime in the past 10 years. I'm like, oh, sure, Wednesday. Pick a day. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, right? So my audience knows I'm always selling them something on Wednesdays. My audience knows I always post something on my Facebook on Mondays, and I do a Facebook Live on Fridays, and I do my Instagram Live goes public on Saturday. It's always public, and I'm always working towards the public thing. And of course, once I sell a course and people sign up, I haven't built the course yet. That's how I do it. I sell it first before I create the content. I create the outline, a very, very vague outline to sell them to see if they'll buy it. Oh, they bought it? Okay, I better create it. So then every Monday or every Wednesday when I teach the course, I'm like, I have a deadline now to make it. And then down to the day level, the deadline that I use is FocusMate or my work retreats, right? Those of you don't know, I do work retreats where it's like group FocusMate. But FocusMate is my deadline. I get on FocusMate. I'm pointing over here because the cheapest iPad I could find, the cheapest tablet I could find at Costco. I bought it just to use FocusMate. That's all it's on here. This tablet, just FocusMate. I I go on FocusMate. I tell them what I'm doing. It's an appointment with somebody else. I don't want to disappoint them. I don't want to disappoint them. I show up. I show up. I tell them what I'm doing. At the end of the hour, I told them what I did. That's a public deadline. At least one other person in my tribe. Right. So I hope this is helpful. How are you setting public deadlines? How are you using Parkinson's law? Comment below. Thanks. All right. So as I often do, I may have supplemental videos related to this. And if there are any, you will see them either below this one or to the side of this one. So look for any related supplemental videos if there exist. But otherwise, comment below. I look forward to seeing whether this conversation has been helpful and the conversations that happen below this video.